Hey there, Shooby Doodlers, how are you doing? Well, there's a new thing coming to YouTube. And I was asked, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago to do a Zoom Hangouts thing with YouTube, and they were asking creators to give their views on various possible new products, and please don't tell anybody all about them, but I think I can tell you about it now because it's going to be a real thing. It's called handles. So already on Twitter I'm at Shoo Rayner, and Instagram I'm at Shoo Rayner, and YouTube I'm https://www.youtube/Shoo Rayner drawing, and they want to change that and have at whatever. So obviously it would probably be at Shoo Rayner drawing, but you can change things if you want. And when they said that, in fact, I asked before they said it, I said, is there any possibility you can change your handle from the channel name? They went, yes, we were coming to that. And that got me really quite excited because, well, it just brings it in line with Twitter and Instagram and things like that. And people will understand that you can just go to at Shoo Rayner, not at Shoo Rayner drawing. This is the whole thing. But that got me quite excited. I've been on YouTube for over 14 years now. I think I lost my way probably about sort of 5-6 years ago, something like that. And I had been sort of fairly consistently doing drawing videos, that's what it says on the tin. And in fact, about 5 years ago or something, I started going a bit weird, and I was slightly worried that one of those horrible brain things might be coming. But I had this terrible brain fog. I was very affected by bright lights. All sorts of things. Cognitive drain was the best description I had of it. And the more I thought about things, the more I would go, and I could almost hear the batteries kind of running down. Crosswords, things like that. Oh, I couldn't cope with them. And reading I found quite difficult. And just getting through the day, because it's a pretty cognitive thing that I do, getting through the day was pretty tiring. And secretly I wondered, is this Alzheimer's? Is this some kind of thing? And as with those things, you don't want to know, do you? And you put it all off. So I'm not telling you a terrible story. It all works out okay, don't worry. It reached the point where my family started saying, you need to get your ears checked because you keep mishearing things. And I would go to school visits and I'd go, sorry, what did you say? It got a little embarrassing. So I went to have my ears tested, and they said, no, your ears are within normal tolerance. What's the problem? So that's strange. They said, well, here, take this printout and take it to your doctor. And he looked at it and went, well, that looks normal to me, within your age and all that kind of thing. And he said, let's have a look. And he said, ooh, you've got fungus in your ears.
If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified every time I upload new videos to help you improve your creative skills.
Well, how are you to know that you have fungus in your ears? And he said, oh, that's quite a lot there. And basically it did, I think it was sort of getting into my brain or something. So anyway, I had anti-fungicidal drops or something. I had to stick it in my ears 3 or 4 times a day. And after a couple of weeks, it was quite astonishing. I could sort of feel the batteries coming back up. And I could walk down the street without sort of staggering across the pavement, the sidewalk. And that kind of thing, that really kind of knocks your self-confidence, because you think people must think I'm drunk. And especially words. I couldn't find the words. And that's what crosswords was a problem. But just in conversation, I just can't think of the word, and so that's when people maybe think you're drunk or something's wrong. Things started getting better, but I was still dizzy. I hadn't got that quite right. I was walking a straighter line, but not a straight line. And a friend of mine is a physio, and I took my mum to her one day, and she had this enormous book on inner ear problems on her bookshelf, and I said, what do you know about that? She said, oh, I know a lot. And she'd taught herself a load of stuff. And she said, doctors don't understand about inner ear problems. So I went to see her as a patient. And she did this thing. She said, follow my finger. So I'm going to, no, I can do that now. But I was going, And in fact, as I followed her finger, I went, and nearly fell over. She said, you need rebalancing. And so I had all these tests, which are basically kind of lots of this sort of following fingers around exercises. And it was quite remarkable. I sort of got all my balance back. And then I just started to get myself sorted out. And then I had this fall about 18 months ago in the garden. I got my foot trapped under a pallet and went bang over. And I think I got a bit concussed now. I look back on it. And I had this sort of brain fog came back again. Oh, no. And that's taken a good year or something, you know, because I'm not as young as I used to be. It's taken a good year to get over. But during all that time, and there was the pandemic and everything, and I thought, oh well, that's it. I'm not going to write books anymore. I just haven't got it in me. And then about 3 months ago, bang, inspiration. Oh no! I thought, no, I can't be bothered, but I can't stop. So I've been writing away. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the first of a trilogy. It's a science fiction-y trilogy, middle grade for sort of 10, 11-year-olds, I suppose. And I'm really excited, and I really want to do this thing. And I started talking to publishers, and then I found there was this strange thing that happened during the pandemic. Lots of people had nothing else to do, so they started writing stories, sending them to publishers. I was the only one that wasn't, actually. And so publishers have been inundated with stories. And in fact, this last weekend I was at the Cheltenham Book Festival, and I was doing Halloween drawing fun with kids, which is great fun, and their families. Actually, it was quite a lot of it was the families and the adults doing the drawing. And there were a lot of first-time authors there who are all being promoted by their publishers because this is what has happened. People have been sat down, pandemic, write a book, send it in, and get published. It's lovely to see first-time authors. They're so excited there at Cheltenham Festival. It's probably the most prestigious book festival in the country, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in Cheltenham Festival," and the authors' tent is just full of famous people, and it's just. I love going there. I blag my way in there, really, just to sort of hang out with people and see old friends. So my problem is I started to put feelers out with publishers, and the same thing kept coming back. Well, we'd love to see your story, but we're kind of booked up for the next 3 years, and my trilogy needs to come out in that next 3 years, and that's not going to happen with a publisher. What do? I thought, oh, well, maybe I can't be bothered, and then... You say that, and then before you know it, you're back at the keyboard typing and the ideas are coming. You can't let go of a thing like this. So I've decided I'm going to self-publish it. And I've been going backwards and forwards thinking, oh, is this a vanity thing? Is this just pure vanity? And I thought, well, no. And the thing to do is to do it with YouTube and with my YouTube audience. And I got nearly 250,000 followers, but in fact there's just a tiny little group of you who are probably watching right now, because other people won't watch this, who are my loyal followers, who are just kind of interested in what I do, so thank you very much. And this whole handle thing is just wonderful, because I'm going to change it. It's going to be @Shoo Rayner. My YouTube handle will be @Shoo Rayner. I'm going to drop the drawing thing, because that, I think, has been holding me back. I have my other channel, Draw Stuff Real Easy, which is doing pretty much what I originally set out to do. Financially, it's taken a great hit because I've had to make it a made-for-kids channel, but statistically, it does an awful lot better than this channel. So I'll carry on doing what I originally set out to do on that channel. And this channel has become de facto not a children's channel. But I'm going to make it more about the creating of children's books and illustration and publishing and marketing. And I'm not going to be embarrassed about marketing. It's a very British thing to be embarrassed about marketing, selling things, earning money. And I'm just not going to do that. There's no point in encouraging people to write a book or sort of, by doing what I do, showing how I do things, that people think, oh, maybe I could do that. If they're just going to end up selling one copy, because that is so disheartening. And so, the marketing is a really important part of it, which is why you go to a publisher to have your book published. And if you're going to publish yourself, then you need to kind of market and really think about it a bit more. And so for this book trilogy that I'm writing, I have this kind of marketing strategy that is forming around the book. And the marketing strategy is also about your market segment, which I don't want to stuff you, who's watching now, into a market segment. But hopefully, as somebody who likes what I do, you might want to kind of buy a copy, if not for yourself, for a niece or a nephew or the local school or library or something. It's a science fiction-y kind of thing. And I think I'm also kind of letting out my inner nerd, I suppose, on this project and other projects. And I think the books I'm going to do from now on are going to be kind of science tech based, even though they're for kids, because that's the world they're growing up into, and I kind of feel they need something they can relate to. And because of that, then obviously there is a kind of a parental, grandparental group of people I can hope to reach through YouTube who are kind of nerdy people themselves, engineers, software people, all that kind of thing, who kind of might be interested in what I'm doing. So handles, that's what I'm going to be doing. Over the next couple of weeks or so, then I should be getting the go-ahead from YouTube to choose my handle name. And I think that's going to be really freeing, allowing me to do new things just by dropping that word drawing at the end. But I'm not going to stop drawing. I will still be sharing illustration and stuff with you, but in a different way in my mind, if that makes sense. If you're around Cheltenham, I'm going to be there again this weekend, so come along and say hello. I'll be in the covered picnic area. I have that all to myself. It's a bit crazy, really, and people come along and we draw Halloween stuff, and I tell inappropriate jokes, which I realise are inappropriate once I've told them. Or I just tell jokes which are just very old and people don't get them, except some of the grandparents. Anyway, it's fun for everybody in that case. And maybe I'll do a bit of filming and sort of share that with you next weekend. It's just remembering to get the camera out and do something, because I'm so busy just hanging around, chatting with old friends and people. So that's where I am at the moment, and I hope you're going to keep watching as I slowly transition. I'm not going to kind of do anything massively different, but I'm going to slowly transition into this kind of new, more about publishing, I suppose, is the way to put it. Thanks for watching, and make sure you are subscribed to @Shoo Rayner on YouTube, and keep coming back for lots more videos of all sorts here on the @Shoo Rayner channel. In the meantime, keep watching, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.